Okay, when we talk about estate planning, we're really talking about two things. What happens to you while you're still alive, which refers to incapacity planning. So if you have Alzheimer's, dementia, you need to go into a nursing home. Part of the estate planning might be how to pay for nursing home. If you've got to use Medicaid. So it's really the first part of estate planning is incapacity planning. Who can manage your affairs if something were to happen to you, but you're still alive, you're incapacitated, you're in an accident, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, stuff like that. That's the first part. The second part of estate planning has to do with what most people think about is who gets what of your stuff, right? A will, a trust, those types of things. When you die, what happens? What do the kids get? What did the spouse get? All that sort of stuff. That's in a minute description what we would refer to as estate planning. But there's another piece of what we do and what I would say experienced estate planning attorneys do, and that's legacy planning, right? Legacy, in my opinion, is not just who gets what of your stuff, right? Legacy, in my opinion, can include it, right? It can include, those things like, hey, dad left me his house, his car collection, mom gave us our great grandfather's watch, all that sort of stuff, right? All of that is very important. But legacy planning, I think, needs to include those memories that you want to pass down or that you would like to have received from your family members, right? How many of you have done some version of like an ancestry.com? And maybe you got some photos of like your great grandparents, and maybe you were able to piece together, where they came from, and all those sort of things. My guess is very, very, very few people know any specific details about like those great grandparents, the great great grandparents, the great 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 grandparents, right? And we're living in a time and age where the resources available are phenomenal, where you could do videos and these could be very high-tech videos. They can be professionally done, or just you sitting in front of your iPhone and sharing your life story and talking about where you came from, talking about, what type of religion did you practice, your political affiliations, where did you grow up? What was the first street you grew up on? What was that like? What was it like with your siblings? Who were you could really spend a lot of time and really not a lot of money putting some of that stuff. I think video is a phenomenal form for that, right? Because video is going to be around for a long, long, long time. And you can set that up digitally so that your kids know you. Your grandkids will probably know you a little bit, but the great-grandkids probably not going to know you or not going to remember you. And maybe even the grandchildren won't. And so wouldn't it be cool if you knew those things about your family members? I don't know. I think it is. And I think when you do your estate plan, you should have some sort of format or some sort of media that you can use to put all that information. It could be video. And again, there's a bunch of professional services, or you could do it very simply with a cell phone. There's books. We created a book for our clients where we have them fill out really unique things like where they grew up, what their childhood hobbies were, their favorite sport, all different types of stuff like that. And there's a ton of resources that you can find like that. You could write it down yourself. There's so many great things that I would encourage you to speak with your estate planning attorney about, or do a Google search about leaving a legacy. I think it's just really, really important. And so when you do your estate plan, I think it all should be done at or around the same time. They go hand in hand. They're both valuable. Obviously, you want to take care of yourself if you're incapacitated. You want to make sure your assets go to your beneficiaries, but try to include some of that actual legacy place. When people talk legacy, I think they should be talking about that and not just the money. Because the money people remember, obviously, but those memories, learning about you as a person, that's really invaluable.